Hey everyone, I went out today, went to the bank and came back, and I'm just watching the Roland Garros now. Well, I'm not watching it, I'm following along with Cam Williams. So still no job offers, still nothing coming up for me. And I'm hoping and praying that I get a break soon. It's over a year, and I've been trying to get something, even if it's in retail, just something to get an income coming in, because it's very boring staying at home. I'm doing some embroidery now as well, and so far I've managed to keep myself positive. I managed to keep myself focused on my goals. But the one thing that I would say is I would encourage people's families to stick by us when we make our decisions, especially personal decisions. Like when I decided not to get the psychiatric treatment, my mother keeps bringing it up, other family members keep bringing it up when I need help. And I've told them this is a personal decision. I made it with my doctor. I don't need psychiatric help. I've held a job for 6 years now, and that constant pressure from the family, it brings you down. Because I also want to be like them. I also want to have my own house. I want to have that support to say, you did it on your own before, you can do it again. Because everybody in our family who's bought places, they had support. They had people around them that cared about them. They had people who helped open doors for them to get jobs. And I deserve that same support, because I'm not young anymore. I'm in my 50s now. And it's not fair to me that every time I get let go from a job, people think that it's my fault. And my mother especially, she always tells me, take some medication, take some medication. And I keep telling her, I don't need medication. I've spoken to my doctor, and my doctor and I are making these decisions around my health care. And why would I go back to a doctor after 6 years and say, oh, I think I need to go and get a psychiatric assessment done, and I want to go on medication? If I know that I'm coping fine, if I know that with my team, with the support I had in place, I can hold a job. It doesn't make sense. And that's what I want to say. Like when people are educated like me, and we have degrees, we have a background, we know what we're doing, stop putting pressure on us to take medical treatment that we don't need. And if people are having problems in their marriages or whatever, that's not our fault. It's not our problem. For the last 6 years, I worked at Teleperformance. The problems that we had on the calls, everybody had the same problems. Developing anxiety because of high pressure is not something unique to me. There are other people who have made videos, they've recorded them, they've put them on YouTube about how they landed up going into depression and getting high blood pressure and how it affected them. And the same thing has happened to me. And I didn't think about it. I didn't think that that was happening to me until I went to my doctor, and he did the test for me for my high blood pressure, and then I was shocked at how high it was. And all the calls are recorded in the contact center. All of them are recorded. So if people call and shout at us and yell at us and masturbate on the calls, the supervisors can go back and listen to those calls, and then they know what's happening. So it's important when people are in transition to support us. Yes, affirm that you know what's happening to us. Yes, affirm that you know it's difficult. But don't give us a hard time about going on medication. We know that you're worried. We know that you're concerned. But that doesn't help us. With me, I don't talk to people in my family anymore. I make appointments with a counselor, or I make an appointment with my spiritual director, and I talk to them. Because all it does when I talk to other people, it goes back either to people they know, because then they talk to people, and then it goes back to people in the family circle, or we are family friends, and I don't want that. So if I need somebody to confide in, I speak to a counselor where it is a professional service, or I speak to my spiritual director, and then it remains confidential and it remains between me and my spiritual director. Because what I found is that people might mean well, but they'll end up hurting me. Because then they'll say, oh, she said this, she said that, and then that person will go and tell somebody else, oh, she said that, and that person will tell somebody else. And then what started out as me confiding in somebody as a family member lands up being taken out into the broader community, which I don't want. So that's how I cope with my transitions. That's how I cope with things. I focus on my scripture, I focus on my hobbies, and I focus on my goal. I focus on where I want to be. Because my situation is not as bad as some people have it. I'm educated, I have good skills to offer, I have a solid work history. Yes, I've had to take contract work, I've been in and out of job, but that's not my fault. That's a fault or the result of being in an economic environment where that's how the banks are hiring. That's how companies are hiring. They're hiring on contracts. And I know what I do. I go out, I walk the streets, I look for vacancies. So I'm doing everything I can. And if people want to say, well, why don't you go and rent a room in a house? Why don't they sell their houses and also go rent rooms in houses? And then we can all be equal. Instead of doing that, why don't people want to see me come up, own a property, earn those salaries over 80,000 a year? Because it's really not fair to me. It's not fair to me as somebody who sponsored my mother, brought her to this country, educated myself, held up to 3 jobs at a time, and who is capable of working. If I was incapacitated, if I couldn't make good decisions, if my doctor was telling me, you know what, you really can't make any good decisions, so I really think we need to put you on some medication, I would agree to it. And I'd say, okay, you know what, you're right, doctor, I can't do anything. That's why now I told my cousin, I said, maybe you people should take me to America. Tell the doctors and tell everybody she can't do anything, she can't hold a job, she's incapable of getting a job. So we want to bring her here and then she can look after us. And we can get her to do some admin duties for us or clean the house or something like that. Because it's going out into the community. And I want people to know that that's not the case. I mean, if I get a job in America, yes, I would go. I'd take an executive assistant job or I'd take another job that I could. But, I mean, what I have done in Canada, not many people can do. And I've done it with diligence. I've done it with focusing on my goals. I've done it with taking things one step at a time. I've done it in consultation with my doctors. And if other people are getting upset, then that's not my fault. If they don't want to talk to me and they don't want to hear my problems, that's fine. I told my mother I'm also not going to call her anymore because she told me she's done. She can't take it anymore. I said to her, then I'm also done, because relationships work both ways. There has to be give and take. If you want to tell me about your problems, you also have to be willing to listen to mine. Iron sharpens iron. It's the same thing with Bono and the One campaign. When Ndidi came, we were all happy to meet her. And she said to me, it's an honor to meet you. I said, oh no, it's the opposite. She said, no, it's the opposite. She said, I've heard about you from the team. I know the work you're doing. And we're so happy that you could come. That's what I would like to see Bono doing for me. I don't appreciate him telling everyone he loves me when he knows I'm in financial difficulty and I've been with him a long time and he won't help me. He won't help me to get that little bit extra to pay my rent, to come up. That's not what I want, and I'm sure that's not what his team wants for me. And you can say, oh well, it's special treatment. No, it's not. I've earned it. I've been with Bono a long time. And it does hurt, yes, when people say, oh, he loves her. Like, some of them are happy for me, but some of the team are like, this is personal. So he has to also understand that if you're going to tell people that you love me and they never see me with you, they never see any special treatment, they never see any special care, people are not going to believe that. They're just going to be like, oh yeah, they're just saying that. But people know. I've been with him a long time. I've supported him a long time. I push back when I need to, when I think that something's not right. And he doesn't have to agree with me, but at least I'm being honest. And I've seen the challenges he's had. I've seen the struggles he's had. I've seen how hard it is to get that funding. Because we go through it. When we go and meet the MPs, you think they give it. They don't give it like that. It's the same as when I ask family members for money. I am literally reduced to tears before they give me that money because it's their money. There's only one person, two people who will send me money without reducing me to tears. One of them is my friend Renee, and the other one is my friend Maria in South Africa. Because they work hard for that money, so they don't want to just give it. They will question me and probe me and give me a really hard time before they send me anything. Because they've also got their own expenses to pay, and that includes my mother. My mother's never just given me the money. She's never come and said to me, yeah, this is for you because I know things are hard for you. She's always made sure that I understand that this is very hard for her to do. She doesn't have the money to give. She's making a sacrifice, and I have to appreciate it. They've always done that. So it's very hard when you're on the other end. And I remember Uncle Narayan, Mr. Harry, used to always tell me, you have to be open to receiving, Belinda. You've done so much, not only for our community here in Kwekwe, but even in Canada, people have told us how much you've done. I said to him, Uncle Narayan, not everybody's like you. Not everybody has your heart. I hate to take money from people. I told him I want to work. I want to be independent. I want to earn those salaries over 80,000. And I was doing very well. But every time I start doing well, something happens and then I lose my job. And I'm back to square one, back to living off debt. And it's really awful. It's an awful way to live. I have worked just as hard as anybody else, including Bono and U2. I've worked just as hard to prove myself, to come up, to educate myself, to get my health where it needs to be. And if I need help, I told my cousins, I told everybody, if I need help, I go to my doctors and I say, I can't cope. And it's happened to me before where I couldn't cope. I used to just start crying and I couldn't stop crying. And I went to Dr. Ing and I said to him, I can't cope with this. It's too much. And then he put me on antidepressants and then I came off them. And he told me, he warned me, he said, I'm putting you on these, but I'm reluctant to do so because when we put people on these antidepressants, sometimes we can't take them off. And I said to him, I don't care, I need something because I can't cope. So when we're going through transitions, when we're going through hard times, believe in us because that's when we need you to believe in us. Because we are doing everything right. If I had gone and taken the money and bought drugs, or if I had gone and done pole dancing, or offered up my body as a prostitution, or if I'd agreed to say, okay, yeah, I'll sleep with this guy because you know what, he's got money and I've got nothing. Or I'll get married because I've got nothing, what else is there for me to do? Then I would understand people treating me so awfully and so horribly. But I haven't done that. I've sat and I've applied to jobs in England, in America, in Canada, in retail, executive assistant work. I've applied to project coordination work. I've applied in travel. I have done nothing but right. And so I want people to start treating me with that respect. And I told the team, yes, I do still want Bono to come. I'm not angry with him, but it has to be taken into consideration, because if his team is going to go around telling everybody that he loves me, then, people have never seen me with Bono. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. That's how people take it. Some people are happy, some people like it, and they're like, you know what, we're happy for her, she's worked hard, and she's proven herself, but other people don't like it. They don't like it because it's a personal thing to say that you love somebody. And so, if you're out there, if you're listening to my talks, if you're watching them, believe in me. Because I didn't get this far by being a pushover, or by not being compassionate, or not knowing how to study, or not knowing how to self-correct. Because that's what hurts me. That's what hurts when you're on your own and nobody picks up the phone to call. Nobody picks up to say, okay, let's go see Belinda, or let's ask her, is it okay? Would you like to have some company? Yes, we don't want people to just pitch up, because we also have our own plans and our own lives. So I can understand that. But when people are going through this kind of difficulty, be there for them. Because believe you me, it hurts. It hurts when people tell you, I'm done. I've done everything I can. I'm done. I'm also hurting. But you're not the one that's unemployed. You're not the one that's facing being out on the street. You're not the one getting pressure from everybody. People put so much pressure on me when my mom was in Zimbabwe. Everyone was writing to me, telling me you should sponsor her. What are you people doing? There was a process that the papers had to go through. I couldn't do anything to speed it up, but everyone kept putting pressure on me. And eventually I got a meeting with Mr. Volpe and I asked for his help. And that's how we brought her. That's how I brought her to Canada. But everybody else has benefited from the family reunions, the holidays, the weddings. Nobody has once said, you know what, Belinda, we know you're not working. This is a family gathering and it's not going to come again. So we'll pay for the ticket so you can come and be with everyone. How do you think that makes me feel? It doesn't make me feel like I'm a valued member of the family. It doesn't make me feel like people will miss me if I'm not there. So I made my life just by focusing on the church, going to church, enjoying the church events. Because we all want to be made to feel special. We all want to be made to feel like our lives matter and our lives are valued. That's what we want. And the team also wants Bono to make me feel special. They don't want me to feel like, oh yeah, I'm just another person. I've been with Bono a long time. I didn't start yesterday. And I want people to remember it. And some people, they try to rattle your cage, they try to test your mettle, they try to break your relationships. So I want Bono to remember that too. Not everybody is wanting us to stay together as a team. Not everybody appreciates the love he has for me. And he should know it. He should remember it. He's been through a lot. He's been through situations where he has had to have a concert and he couldn't because he had an accident. He's been through situations where he had to have a heart operation. That heart operation is very similar to the one my dad had. He's been through a lot. I don't show my love for him often, but people should respect him. He deserves it, and so do I.